Welcome to Facts TV News, where everything is true. Westmoreland teenage burn victim breathing on her own. The recovery status of Adriana Leng, the 13-year-old survivor of a fire that left her three brothers dead, has been elevated from survival to recovery. The teenager, who has received 75% burn, of which over 90% of her skin grafted complete, has undergone 15 emergency surgeries and is now breathing on her own. She is currently recovering in the Joseph M. Stillburn Center at Doctors Hospital of Augusta, the largest burn center in the U.S. Care is being spearheaded by Dr. Hassan. They have now updated her status from survival to recovery. After 39 days in ICU, she is breathing on her own and talking without the assistance of oxygen, stated the project manager of Sun Myrna Foundation, Stephen Joseph. Joseph gave the update during a Thanksgiving service for the lives of her three brothers on Sunday. The foundation was instrumental in getting the girl overseas for treatment. Joseph noted that despite improvements, the teenager still has a long way to go. She still has a long road to recovery and more surgeries, but she has been responding greatly to every surgery. Each day has been a miracle, and Adriana will live without her purpose and destiny that she came on earth for. She will walk out her destiny. Our God is an awesome God, stated Joseph. Man accused of beating woman during dispute arrested and charged. A man accused of destroying a woman's phone and beating her has been arrested by the police. Andre Scott, a 35-year-old laborer of Savannah District in East Clarendon, was charged with assault occasioning actual bodily harm following the incident. Police report that about 11 p.m. last Thursday, Scott and a 33-year-old woman had a disagreement and got into an argument. Police said during the argument, the woman's Samsung Galaxy valued at $32,000 was slammed to the wall and destroyed. She was also punched several times all over her body, causing swelling and bruising. The matter was reported to the police, and following investigations, Scott was arrested and charged. His court date is being finalized. DCP says church has a role to play in helping to deal with spirit of darkness flowing in Jamaica's crime problem. Deputy Commissioner of Police Fitz Bailey is calling on the church to help to deal with what he says is a spirit of darkness which is flowing in Jamaica's crime problem. Since the start of the year, some 1,250 people have been murdered in the country. In the past week, several people were killed, including 2 members of the Jamaica Constabulary Force JCF and social media personality Anika Thousand, popularly known as Kiano. Speaking to the Lasco JCS, saluting our heroes and Chairman's Award church service at the Webster Memorial United Church in Kingston on Sunday morning, DCP Bailey bemourned the level of crime in Jamaica. He condemned the murder of Corporal Oliver Mullins and Constable Brian Martin, who were killed days apart.
Just a few days ago, we lost an unsung hero, Corporal Oliver Mullins, who bravely stood in the gaps between good and evil in the quest to save lives. Remember his colleagues and his family at this time. And I also want to recognize and remember Constable Brian Martin, who went to visit and to pay respect at a wake for an elderly woman who died naturally. He was brutally killed. And at that crime scene, there were 66 pen casings that were found. We believe that the church continues to be among the most respected institutions in this country. You have the ability to reach individuals that sometimes, even as police, we don't have the capacity to reach. We want to expand our collaboration and engage these individuals at different levels. Reverend, we have to engage some of these deviant on a spiritual level. The types of violence we see sometimes are beyond normal. These persons are extremely cruel. From a religious perspective, we can say that they have been led by the spirit of darkness. And I believe that there is another factor that is bigger than law enforcement, that only the church can deal with that. The spirit that operates in the sons of stubbornness. And I believe that the church is so equipped to deal with those spiritual factors.
From beggar to thief. 21-year-old accused of robbing elderly man of $125K. A 21-year-old man accused of moving from a beggar to a thief has been charged by police following a recent incident in Mitchelltown, Clarendon. Police accused Louis Richards, otherwise called Tango, a construction worker, of robbing an elderly man who was kind enough to honor his request and gave him $500 a few minutes earlier. Richard, who is from Lewis Street in Mitchelltown, was slapped with a charge of simple robbery. It was reported that about 4 a.m., the elderly man was at a party in the district when he saw Richards, who asked him for $500. The man said the man took out a wallet of cash and gave Richard the money he requested. Shortly after, the elderly man left the party on his bicycle. When he reached a distance, he looked back and saw Richards and another man on bicycles behind him. The police said that Richards rode up beside the elderly man, who stopped his bicycle. It is alleged that $125,000, a lighter and a pack of cigarettes were taken from the man's pocket. Both men then rode off, leaving the elderly man unharmed, the police said. The man later made a report to the police, and following investigations, Richards was arrested and charged. Williams urges caution after school principal trap in St. Elizabeth. Education Minister Favor Williams is urging school administrators and security personnel to be vigilant and exercise caution when dealing with unauthorized persons on their campuses following last week's dropping of a principal. Principal of the retirement primary school in St. Elizabeth, Anne-Marie Terrelong, was attacked by a man on the school premises on Friday afternoon. It is alleged that the man entered the premises with a machete in hand and, when ordered to leave, refused. The principal, who also attempted to get him to leave, was attacked and chopped in the head, a ministry statement said on Sunday. Minister Williams said she was shocked and horrified by the reports. I pray that Principal Terrelong will recover quickly. This attack on members of the school community is highly distressing. We want our schools to be safe environments for students, teachers, and support staff, and this reprehensible attack undermines all the efforts being made to create safe spaces for school community, she said. She said school personnel should be cautious when confronting unauthorized persons. You do not know their state of mind, nor the intent to which they may be armed. It is better to succumb to the help of the security forces. Housing services will be offered to staff and students who were traumatized by the attack, the ministry stated. Road fatalities pushed to 362 since January, says RSU. The two women, a 61-year-old pedestrian and a 45-year-old driver of a private motor vehicle, were listed among several people who perished in the motor vehicle crashes during the period of October 15 to 21. The latest fatalities have pushed the total number of people that have died on the nation road since the start of the year to 362, according to the latest statistics released on Friday by the Road Safety Unit RSU. The 5 males who died during 1 week period under review include a 17-year-old boy who died after the motorcycle he was driving collided with a Toyota 1000 motor truck along the Towhead Main Road in Westmoreland on Saturday, October 15. Following the crash, the teenager was taken to hospital where he was pronounced dead. In total, 2 pedestrians, 3 motorcyclists, 1 driver of a commercial motor vehicle, and the driver of a private motor vehicle died in traffic crashes over the 7-day period. Meanwhile, the 362 deaths recorded up to October 21 resulted from 315 fatal crashes, the RSU stated. The unit said fatal crashes have decreased by 5%, while fatalities are down 2% when compared to the corresponding period last year. The RSU highlighted that at the start of the year, fatalities for 2022 were projected to decrease by 8%. However, the projection at the second quarter project a decrease of 2%. A total of 487 people were killed in traffic crashes in 2021. In the meantime, pedestrians account for 20% of all road deaths to date, with motorcyclists accounting for 30%. Private motor vehicle drivers accounted for 20% of all fatalities, and private motor vehicle passengers accounted for 14%. The group of road users classified as most vulnerable, pedestrian, pedestal, cycle, motorcyclists, and pillions, accounted for 57% combined since the start of the year. Males continue to account for 85%, while females account for 15% of victims of road fatalities. Please remember to subscribe, like, share, and click the notification bell.